we're going to take a look at the review for Unit 6, which covers chapters 13 and 14. That includes the numbers and the capitalization. This will summarize everything in the textbook, and we do have some issues with capitalization of titles and how to and not to capitalize those. So that's one of the things that may be just a little bit different than what you've been trained in the past. But remember, this is based upon Merriam-Webster's dictionary and the Chicago Manual of Style. So this is where the rule is actually coming from. Okay, let's take a look at the review at the end of the chapter. And it's having us choose one of these options. And keeping in mind, we're going to assume that the following phrases appear in sentences in business or professional correspondence. We're going to select the letter of the group of words that is more acceptably expressed. Okay, so right here, number 1, we're going to look at column A and B and decide which one's right. And notice it's just making a generic reference to management, and it doesn't need to do so. It doesn't say Management 301 or 2503. Since it's not being used as a title, it's just talking about management courses. Lowercase the management, which is letter B. Management, Japanese, and Japanese is already capitalized in history. Okay, so letter B is your correct answer. And then number 2, living in Bighorn County. Since Bighorn is a name of the county and it's not coming before, we want to capitalize county, which is letter B. So county should be capitalized. And then, so B is your correct answer. And then right now, the state of West Virginia. Okay, this one's kind of a tough one because I don't know if that's a website or if that's the name of the web address for the state of Virginia or administrative offices for the state of West Virginia. That doesn't say. But if you were just writing a business correspondence and say, we're happy for all of the citizens in the state of West Virginia, then state, county, city that comes before the city, state, or county should not be capitalized. So letter B is your correct answer, where it's lowercase. Number 4, fall is not being used as a title. So letter A is your correct answer. It's just a fall lowercase promotional event. Then number 5, a diesel engine. Diesel is the brand name, so it should be capitalized, but engine is just a common noun, so it should not be capitalized. So letter A is correct. What?
It says B. Yeah.
It does say B. Diesel engine. Diesel is the name. In fact, I believe it shows diesel in your textbook as being capitalized, does it not?
I can look myself.
Let me go back and reference that one really quickly. Okay, on product names, let's see if I can find the word diesel. I figured that would be in that particular area, but it is not. Dumpster waste receptacle, I do not see diesel engine on that one. What I would do is look up the Merriam-Webster dictionary for diesel engine, and that would give me concrete proof of whether it should or should not be capitalized. mistaken. I just read it incorrectly. On page 405, it does show diesel as not being capitalized. So it's apparently through period of time has lost its derivative of where it originated from, just like China Dishes has. And China is no longer capitalized whenever you're saying China Dishes. Same situation with diesel engine. It is not capitalized, so I stand corrected. That's letter B. Okay, Army, number 6, Army and Navy personnel. When you're referring to the Army or the Navy, you do capitalize it, but whenever it's just written in correspondence as such, then it's letter A. Let's see, $84 should have a dollar sign with 84, which is letter B. And then on 18th Avenue, that's a number above 10, so that street address is correct, which is letter A. And then number 9, on July 4th, I wish they would have used the 5th, to tell you the truth, because July 4th is a holiday, but technically, based upon the rule, numbers that come after the month do not have ordinals next to them. So technically, July 4 is the correct answer without the TH. May I join you? We want to capitalize the first letter of the sentence, and it does have a question mark, so letter B is the correct answer. And then meeting of 45 undergraduate students. 45 is a number above 10, so it should be a figure, so letter B is the correct answer. And then finally, sold for $100. This one includes the word dollars outside of the dollar sign, so it's redundant, so letter A is your correct answer. Okay, that brings us down to number 13. And I actually had an issue with this one based upon the way that the questions were being asked. So, which sentence has an error in capitalization? Which sentence is wrong? So, force yourself to read all 3 of those sentences. After 9 semesters of hard work, Javier plans to complete his Associate in Arts degree in the spring. Everything there is correct. 9 semesters is between 1 and 10, so it should be spelled out as a word. Javier is capitalized. AA is the abbreviation for the degree, which is capitalized with no periods, and spring is not used as a title, so that's correct. Letter B, since last fall, Rachel has saved $3,000 toward a down payment on Ford Focus. Fall is not being used as a title, so letter B, right here, fall is not capitalized, should not be capitalized, so there's your error. Ford Focus is, however, correct. So B is going to be your correct answer on this one as being an error. But let's look at C. 185 is above 10, so it's a figure. Home Depot is capitalized, the name of the company, and stores is not. And then city is lowercase, as it comes before the city of Los Angeles, which is correct. So B is your incorrect answer. Number 14, which sentence has an error in capitalization or number usage? DataPro awarded 11,000 employees. 11,000 is correct because it's above 10, so it should be a figure. Bonuses of $2,500 each. It has your comma after the thousands location and the dollar sign, each on January 1st. Whenever a number comes after the month, it should always be a figure. So it should read January 1. So that's one that's incorrect. Letter B, if you start a sentence with a number, it should be spelled out as a word, and numbers 21 through 99 should be hyphenated, as is right here. People applied for the position of project manager. That's just a position of the individual, and since it's not being used as a title immediately before someone's name, it's not capitalized. Before the May 2 deadline, and 2 is correct. So letter B is correct in its entirety. The first shift at Precision Instruments, name of the company is capitalized, starts at 7 a.m., the second at 4 p.m. Those are consistent with the a.m. and p.m., lowercase a period, m period, and then the numbers are figures before a.m. and p.m. If we use the word o'clock, then you would spell it out. Okay, so therefore the incorrect one is letter A. Okay, number 15. Which sentence has more, one or more errors in capitalization or number usage? The administrative offices for the state of Arizona, there it's talking about the state of Arizona administrative offices. So that's what makes state capitalized in this particular case. As you see, I marked it as being an error, but it's the state offices for the administration, or the administration office for the state of Arizona. And then 100 North 15th Street, it's above 10, so it's a figure in Phoenix, and Phoenix is capitalized as well. So letter A is actually correct. Number 2, United States Postal Service, all capitalized for that particular division. Plans to purchase 250, above 10, so it's a figure. New delivery vehicles by March 15. 15 is a figure since it comes after the month. Then Consumer Electronics Show, and I wouldn't know if that should be capitalized or not, but they put it in abbreviations afterwards, so now I know it should be CES. In Las Vegas, which is capitalized, offers 250, which is correct. It's above 10. Session should not be capitalized, so there's your error. And there's another error too, with more than 3,600 exhibitors. Exhibitors should not be capitalized either. So 2 errors in this one. So letter C is your correct answer for an incorrect one. Okay, that's going to move us down to level 2. Okay, choose which one is correct. My brother and sister, since it doesn't have a person's name immediately after brother, sister, should not be capitalized, and it is preceded by a possessive case pronoun, my. So here my brother and sister, letter B is correct. Number 17, travel west on Highway 66. Letter A is correct because west is just a direction on a compass, and highway is capitalized because that's the title for 66. So letter A is the correct answer. Our manager, Jan Jones, since Jan Jones is the appositive renaming manager and manager's not capitalized, letter A is correct. See, there's a comma that separates manager from Jan Jones, so that makes manager lowercase. So B is not the correct answer, letter A is. Our human resources department, that's a specific department in an organization, and it should be capitalized. So letter A is your correct answer. And then number 20, a message from Alyssa Mendez, sales manager. Since this is in a correspondence, even though the appositive is renaming who Alyssa Mendez is, it should not be capitalized. So letter B is your correct answer. The only way that we can make that correct is what we're going to do in the next one, a message from sales manager Mendez. Since it's immediately before her name, so the position, title comes before her name, then it's capitalized, so letter A is your correct answer on 21. Note the differences between 20 and 21. When sales manager is used as an appositive, it should not be capitalized, but whenever it's used as a title before the name with no commas intervening, then it becomes capitalized. And that's across the board, and the only exception is if these are in the minutes, and then you usually capitalize president or committee and those types of words if it's in the minutes of a meeting or if it's a legal or congressional tone. Okay, let's see, number 22. For the past 4 years, 4 is a number between 1 and 10, so it should not be capitalized, which is letter A. 23, 4 20-story buildings. Remember, the first word should be a word unless it's more than 2 words. So 4 is only 1 word, so it should be spelled out as a word as illustrated here, and then we'll use a figure to indicate the adjective describing buildings. 4 20-story buildings. Letter B is your correct answer on this one. 23, 9 legal assistants, which so far so good, assigned to 14 cases. These 2 numbers are unrelated. 9 is below 10, so it should be spelled out, and 14 is above 10, so it should be a figure. So letter A is your correct answer here. 25, subject, payroll data due today. technically that's not correct because since subject is all capped, all of those words are supposed to be capped. But neither one of those choices exist. The subject here, it lowercased all the letters, so between the two, letter A is more correct than letter B is. Technically, neither one of them are really correct. So letter A, we'll choose that one. Number 26, Intel's 50th anniversary. For ordinals establishing anniversaries, if it is one word, then you're going to spell it out. So it's going to be Intel's 50th anniversary, which is letter B. Now, if it's two or more words, like 25th anniversary, then actually it's more than two words, isn't it? 125th anniversary, then it would be a figure if it's more than two words as a figure. But with just one or two words, it's a word. Okay, 27. Let's scoot this up a little bit. Which one has an error in it? About 1 million. Okay, that 1 right there is optional whenever that's an approximation. It's not exactly 1 million, but it's an approximation, so it can be 1 as a word or a figure, so either one of those is correct. Tourists are expected to visit New Orleans for the Mardi Gras, the name of the celebration. It's capitalized, so letter A is correct. My Aunt Hilda, look, they capitalized aunt because her first name is listed, so therefore it becomes a title and is now capitalized even though it follows a possessive case pronoun. And Uncle Clayton, uncle is capitalized here, from the Midwest, that's a region, not a direction on a compass, will join my mother. Notice mother is not capitalized because the mother's name is not listed, and father in New Orleans. So letter B is correct as stated. Of the 55 hotels, that's a number above 10, so it's a figure. In the area, only 4 of those 55. To keep numbers consistent, since those 4 is related to the 55, make the 4 a figure as well. Have vacancies, said the executive director, which is lowercase, of the New Orleans Hotel, which is the name of the hotel, so it should be capitalized, and Lodging Association is also the name of the hotel. But 4, the consistency should be changed, so C has the error. 28, which sentence has one or more errors in it? Please tell the manager, okay, it's not used as a title, so it's lowercase, to take exit 2, that's a title for the exit, of State Highway 5, that's the name of the highway, so it's capitalized, and follow the signs to the name of the building, Building A. So letter A is correct as stated. The best interest rates are now available on 6 to 9 month certificates of deposit. Let's see, all of those are correct. And when you're talking about warranties and CDs, even though those are numbers below 10, they become figures. Discounts like 25%, 1%, 1,000%, whatever the number is, it's always a figure before the word percent, and also the same with certificates of deposit and for warranties. So letter B is correct. Then the president told the marketing director, okay, so this doesn't appear to plan for the company's 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary is one word, and so it's spelled out, which is correct. The only error here is president should not be capitalized, not used as a title, not used for legal documentation, not used for minutes of a meeting, so therefore president should be lowercase. So letter C indicates the error. Okay, 29. Which one has the error in it? The budget proposed by the White House, which that's capitalized, would produce deficits adding about $8.5 trillion. Okay, so numbers that are in the millions, billions, and trillions usually have the word trillion spelled out rather than 3 sets of zeros. So that is correct to the national debt by 2020. So A is correct as stated. Hurricane Ike, name of a hurricane, it's capitalized, was responsible for numbers above 10, so it's a figure, and cause more than $50 billion. This part is correct, but they added the word dollars, which is not correct. So letter B is going to be the incorrect answer. Galveston Island is the city. It's capitalized, as is the state. But dollars is wrong. So letter B is the answer that we want to use. The mayor of Galveston. If I said Mayor Jones, then it would be capitalized because it's a title. Since I didn't put the person's name immediately after it, it's not capitalized, so that's correct. Galveston is still capitalized. Said that 40 of the 569 public housing units it lost have been rebuilt. Those numbers are above 10, so they are figures. So B is your incorrect answer. Then finally, level 3. What on earth happened? Okay, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, when they're referred to as celestial bodies, they are capitalized. But whenever you're just using them in common generic terms, they're not capitalized. So letter A is your correct answer here. Okay, Governor-elect Newsom. Governor is preceding the word Newsom, so it's Governor Newsom, which is capitalized, but the words self and X and elect are not capitalized, but they are still hyphenated, so letter B is going to be your correct answer. Number 32, an email marked urgent. It should be italicized and capitalized. So let's see if that's the issue. Yes, italicized, and if it says marked or stamped, the word that follows will be capitalized with italics. So letter B is your correct answer. Okay, fractions, when they're used as nouns, should be spelled out unless they're part of a group of other fractions. And they'd be hyphenated if you use hyphens if they're acting as adjectives. But if they're acting as nouns, then don't hyphenate it. So 1/4 of the participants, letter B is going to be your correct answer. Okay, less than 0.3%. That is correct because the first character after the period is not a 0. So therefore, I have to place a 0 before it, so it will be read as 0.3%. That's really hard to see right there. So that's why letter B is not correct. Letter A is. Now, if it said 0.03%, then I would not put the 0 before it because I would be able to see the O quite clearly, or the 0 quite clearly. So letter A is the correct answer there. 35, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit and Celsius are derived from people's names and are still capitalized, and it's a measurement. Degrees is not, but 89 is a figure, regardless if it's 1 degree Fahrenheit or 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So letter A is your correct answer on 35. 80% of the votes, we're going to change the percent sign to the word percent. Any value before the word percent will always be a figure, letter B. Then the Civil Rights Act of 1964, since that's an act, let's capitalize it, letter B. And then a final grade of 95, which letter A is the correct answer, and any number, whether it's 1 or 100, is a figure for a grade. Okay, now we're going to look for errors in these last two questions. In the last census, 10.1%, that's correct, of Hawaiians, ethnicities are capitalized, that's correct, identified themselves as either Native Hawaiian, which is capitalized, or Pacific Islander, which is correct. So letter A is correct. Second National Bank, that's capitalized, which is correct, ranks 104th in terms of capital investments. Okay, since it's more than 2 words, 104th, 3 words, we're going to change that ordinal to a figure, 104th as a figure, and then 2 letters after it. So letter B is incorrect. A 2/3 majority rather than a simple majority, so the word 2/3 is being used as an adjective describing majority, so it is hyphenated, is required to pass new taxes and levies. So letter C is correct, but B is not, so that's your answer. Then finally, number 40. Young women captured first and second place prizes in the contest for budding entrepreneurs. First and second, whenever you're talking about positions, should be spelled out as words. Winston Churchill said, comma, quote, capital if you're going through hell, keep going. And hell is not capitalized, and it's end quote with a period on the inside, so letter B is correct. Why are Supreme Court rulings often decided either 9-0 or 5-4? Those numbers are valued correctly as figures, and Supreme Court is capitalized, so letter C is correct. The one that wasn't is letter A. Okay, now let's look at the FAQs. The President of the United States embarked on a tour of European countries. European is capitalized, but President is no longer capitalized according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, nor is it capitalized in the Chicago Manual of Style unless it's used as a title. It does not say President Trump of the United States, then it would be capitalized. But here, in this particular case, since it's just making a reference to it, letter B is your correct answer. Number 42, our newsletter comes out bi-monthly or semi-monthly on the 1st and the 15th of each month. I don't know the answer until I look at this last part. It's on the 1st and 15th of each month, which means it's twice in a month, which means semi-annually. If it were every other month, then it would be bi-monthly. So since it's twice within the same month, it's semi. Bi means every other. Semi means in the same. So letter B is your correct answer on this one. Okay, 43. The Red Cross immediately sent aid following the hurricane. AIDE is a person. So sent aid, or sent assistance, which is letter A. Okay, the marshal escorted the defendant into the courtroom. Martial, T-I-A-L, is for martial arts, so it's S-H-A-L. That's the person, letter A. Jacqueline doesn't want to lose her opportunity to earn her facility management certification. Lose, L-O-S-E. I have loose change, letter A. But I don't want to lose the opportunity, letter B. I'm really happy with the makeup, hyphenated or not hyphenated, or two words of our task force. Makeup would be a verb, and then hyphenated to be an adjective, and then makeup to be a noun. So letter B is the correct answer. Support resources are open to non-English speaking students. English is capitalized, as would be Spanish or something like that. And usually we don't hyphenate the word non. Pre-dissonant, remember that one? And over and under, and then several other ones to associate yourself with it, are typically not capitalized or hyphenated unless it's unless you have a proper noun in between the word non and another word. So non-speaking are not capitalized, but English is, and then change it to hyphenation. Okay, Robert is conscious or conscience of his strengths and weaknesses. Conscience is a science of the brain, meaning that you have a bad thought. But he is aware, which is conscious, C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S, letter A. Number 49, Colette felt great sympathy or empathy, I don't know the answer until I read the rest of it, for the flood victims, even though she lived thousands of miles away and had never experienced it. Had she experienced it, she would empathize with them. But she didn't experience it, so she sympathizes with them. Letter A. Then number 50. Donors who give $50. This is redundant, so I know it's not that one. That one's probably it. And then get rid of the dollars right there. So letter B. Or more will be recognized at the awards ceremony. Any questions?